Hi, I'm Dr. Tees Krause, and I want to talk to you about the truth underlying leaky gut and autoimmunity. So the first thing we should know is that intestinal permeability or leaky gut occurs when the tight junction of the intestines open up. I think most of you that are watching this already know this. And there has been some really breakthrough research by Fasano and colleagues looking at zonulin and looking at how this relates to autoimmune disease, and several publications have been done, including publications of myself. And what we know is that when autoimmune diseases develop, one of the mechanisms can be a leaky gut, but it's not the only mechanism. And we know that when people have intestinal permeability, these tight junction proteins open up and large undigested food particles can then cross. And this sets the stage up for an overzealous antigen presenting response, and for some genetically susceptible individuals, this can really create an autoimmune disease. Now, we know in celiac disease models, there's very strong links between intestinal permeability and the development of autoimmune disease. We know in animal models, they can inject zonulin into these animals to open up their tight junctions and create leaky gut, and we know autoimmune diseases such as type 1 diabetes develop. So we are seeing lots of good evidence and research that intestinal permeability plays a role in the development of autoimmune disease, or as a factor in some individuals with autoimmune development. But the other key thing to understand is that intestinal permeability is not the only cause. So there are many mechanisms in which autoimmune disease can develop. You can have binding to different immune receptors, you can have chemical-induced binding, you can have cross-reactivity, you can have dendritic cell failures, you can have binding of chemicals with different feedback loops of the endocrine system that then turn on different types of immune cells. So one of the things that we know is that if you're a clinician and your entire focus on treating autoimmunity is intestinal permeability, then you're going to fail with many patients. The other key thing to understand is that autoimmunity creates an overzealous immune response, and these overzealous immune responses can itself break down tight junctions of the gut. So the model of fixing someone's leaky gut to then cure their autoimmunity is an inaccurate model. You can definitely support intestinal permeability and help someone dampen their autoimmune responsiveness, but in most cases they can have things like lack of sleep or a stress response or something else that activates their immune system, and then their tight junctions will then break up again, because these tight junction proteins are very sensitive to oxidative stress. So we're going to go over all these concepts and really teach the big picture of what the research is really showing and all different mechanisms related to autoimmunity. And the simple leaky gut model as the cause of all autoimmunity and treatment is going to fix it all is not a correct model, and it's very limited in the scope of all the things that are clinically necessary to manage the expression of autoimmunity. We'll be going over all these in the Krause Institute autoimmune course. I hope to see you there, and thank you for your attention.